wait up. You're not hanging that flag in here.
Well, of course I am.
Blanche, do you know what this flag represents?
This flag belonged to Big Granddaddy Hollingsworth. He used to bring it to all our fine old Southern family picnics where all the cousins would gather. Everybody was courteous and mannerly, and gentlemen would ask ladies for the favor of a dance. And Cousin Rex would be home on vacation from Colonel Bob's school for bad boys. He'd ask me for the favor other than the dancing favor. And we'd... It's a grand old flag.
Wait a minute, now I get it. This is just good old-fashioned fun.
Yes.
Okay, well, say, how about on Tuesday nights we hang the Nazi flag, hire an oompa band, and dress you up like Eva Braun?
This is not the same as the Nazi flag.
Yeah, well, it is to me, Blanche. Look, when you look at this flag, you see some Southern fairy tale with the guy who looks like Burl Ives dressed in a white suit tipping his hat to you saying, "Evening, Miss Blanche."
Evening. Oh, I'm sorry, Roland. You were making a point.
That's not funny, Blanche.
Well, that's ancient history, and you know it. Things aren't like that anymore. Uh-oh, here they come. So, are we going to check them in? Can we afford not to?
After they're checked in, Blanche, I want this flag to come down.
In December 1992, an unlikely battleground for a conversation on race emerges in the pastel lobby of the Golden Palace Hotel. Blanche Devereaux, ever proud of her Southern heritage, drapes a Confederate flag across the front desk. This simple act ignites a powerful confrontation with Roland, the hotel's black manager. What follows is a mature, heartfelt exploration of history, memory, and empathy, themes as relevant today as they were then. The episode first aired December 4th, 1992, just months after the Rodney King riots shook Los Angeles. In March of 1991, a grainy handheld camcorder captured something that would jolt the conscience of a nation. On a dark Los Angeles street, a group of white LAPD officers repeatedly struck a black man named Rodney King with batons, kicked him while he lay on the ground, and used a stun gun on him. The beating went on for more than a minute. The footage, raw, undeniable, aired on news stations nationwide, igniting a firestorm. It looked like an outtake from apartheid-era South Africa, one journalist wrote. The image was unforgettable, a black man brutalized by those sworn to protect. The trial that followed became a cultural flashpoint. Despite the footage, a jury in the majority-white suburb of Simi Valley acquitted the 4 officers in April 1992. The verdict sparked 6 days of unrest in Los Angeles. Over 60 people were killed, thousands injured, and more than $1 billion in property was destroyed. The air filled with smoke, sirens, and grief, an eruption of rage that had been building for decades. But the riots were not simply a response to one incident. They were the result of a long and painful history, a pattern of dehumanization, over-policing, and systemic racism against black Americans. Rodney King unintentionally became a symbol of that suffering. In this climate, America's entertainment industry could not look away. Even sitcoms, traditionally lighthearted escapes, were forced to reckon with the moment. The Golden Palace, which aired its Confederate flag episode just months later, stands as one of the few shows that attempted to wrestle with race, not through parody or oversimplification, but through earnest dialogue between two people with different lived realities. Roland's calm but pained monologue about the legacy of that flag carries extra weight in light of Rodney King. His words are not abstract. They echo what millions of black Americans felt in that moment, that symbols of the Confederacy weren't relics of the past, they were still very much alive in the present. And when Blanche clings to her family's history, blind to its painful context, we see a metaphor for America itself. Like Blanche, the country was being asked, can you love your past while acknowledging the harm it caused others? In 1992, that was a brave question for a sitcom to ask, as Rodney King himself would later plead to a broken nation. Can we all get along? It's not just a plea for peace, it's a call for empathy, the very thing the Golden Palace attempts to foster between Blanche and Roland, and perhaps between its viewers. Viewers at the time were acutely aware of race tensions in America. The police brutality and white versus black is not new. Journalist Peter Weber notes that in the early 1990s, America was in a Bill Clinton era, a national conversation on race decades before Black Lives Matter. The Golden Palace episode taps into that climate. It shows a national struggle played out in microcosm.
Well, welcome, ladies, to the Golden Palace. Please don't eat the mince.
Smiths doing, Rose?
Oh, it's pretty quiet. I've just been calling the Smiths every minute and a half so they won't have time to start rolling around.
That's great. I did the same thing on Dorothy and Stan's honeymoon. Drove them crazy. You might want to try it with a German accent.
Sophia, you're terrible. Achtung! Your strudel is ready and... I'm sorry, wrong number. They sounded scared. May I help you?
Yes, a reservation for Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
I see. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Mr. and Mrs. Smith are here. That's right. Mr. Old enough to be her father, Smith. And the lovely Mrs. This sure beats doing it on the floor at the office, Smith.
First of all, you can kiss Employee of the Month goodbye.
Again?
Look, Rose, I know these people. They're regular customers. They really are the Smiths.
Oh, my gosh. Achtung! I'm an exchange student.
Wait a minute, why is that flag still there?
I guess Blanche didn't get to it yet.
Oh, I see.
Hey, what are you doing?
I don't want this here, Blanche.
Well, I swear, if you're not making such a thing. You know, I remember once when Big Granddaddy Hollingsworth took...
Just stop it. This flag, Mrs. Devereaux, is not about college football games or quilting bees or fried chicken on Sunday. It's about colleges that won't let me in. It's about companies that won't hire me. It is about crosses being burnt on people's lawns today. Not in the evil past, Blanche, today. And not just in the South, all over. The North is just as bad.
Damn Yankees.
You honestly don't get this, do you?
I don't see where there's anything to get. This is just a flag. To me, this is just a bunch of wonderful family memories.
Well, I don't think I want to work for anybody who feels that way. I don't think I can.
But Roland...
I'm just gonna look for another job, Blanche.
Blanche Devereaux nostalgia for her roots runs deep. She grew up in Georgia in a large family cherishing memories of simpler times. To Blanche, the Confederate flag represents the warmth of home and family. As the episode opens, she cheerfully tells Roland that the flag was her grandfather's and stands for good family memories. In her mind, it's innocent pride. However, modern audiences find Blanche's enthusiasm unsettling. As one writer observed in 2021, Blanche's exuberant embracing of the Confederate tradition feels jarring today. If she were around in 2021, she'd probably be Team Trump, and in favor of keeping those creaky monuments intact. It's a provocative line, but not without merit. In many ways, Blanche embodies the mindset of someone who clings to cultural memory without confronting its darker undercurrents. Her love for the flag isn't born of hate, but of sentimentality, a desire to hold on to the idyllic parts of her childhood. Yet that's precisely the challenge. When the symbols of one person's nostalgia are the same symbols that represent oppression and violence to others, reckoning is unavoidable. Blanche's journey in this episode mirrors a broader national conversation. The debate over Confederate monuments, flags, and the idea of heritage not hate intensified sharply during the 2010s and 2020s, especially amid growing calls to remove statues honoring Confederate leaders. For some, these were historical landmarks. For others, they were ongoing reminders of America's unresolved legacy of racism. If Blanche were real, it's not hard to imagine her initially resistant to removing those monuments, viewing them as tributes to her ancestors. But, as this episode demonstrates, Blanche is also capable of growth. When faced with Roland's lived experience, she listens, she changes. That's the difference. The script doesn't make her the villain. It shows her as someone with blind spots, someone whose transformation offers hope that empathy can overcome even the most deeply rooted beliefs. In that sense, Blanche is a mirror, not just of a particular Southern archetype, but of the many Americans who've had to reconsider what those creaky monuments really stand for. Such commentary underscores why even beloved characters like Blanche carry problematic traits. Blanche's fun family memories were tarnished by the truth. Blanche clings to symbols of the Old South while the world around her has begun to question what those symbols mean.
Hey, Chewy, what's this on tomorrow's lunch menu? Sausage on split bread? That's a hot dog. Who's gonna want that?
Hey, let me tell you something. I have seen people, lots of people, like thousands of people line up for a little piece of sausage. And they do it because it's the only food available. And they suffer in silence as they inch up towards the head of the line with the rain beating down on them. So don't tell me I don't know what people want.
It was that bad in the barrio?
No, it's last Sunday at the Dolphins game.
Listen, do you think I'm wrong?
Yes.
Well, don't you think you should let me finish my sentence?
No.
Look, there's a couple in this hotel committing adultery. And I know it's not the in thing, but I happen to believe in family values.
Oh, don't start with family values. After Sal died, I had to be a single parent. And I took care of Dorothy the best I could.
Oh, Sophia, Dorothy took care of you.
Oh, that would explain the free food.
Well, I still think we should have a policy against people coming to our hotel to commit adultery.
Rose, will you loosen up? Now, don't tell me you never went to a hotel to have a little fun.
Well, I may have gone, but not with somebody else's husband. Well, actually, once I did wind up in a hotel bed with someone other than Charlie, but it was an accident, I swear it.
You had an affair. Rose, Nyland, little Miss Goody Two-Shoes? Well, I'm shocked. I don't know what to say.
It wasn't an affair, technically. See, Charlie and I used to go to the St. Olaf Hotel every few months to spice things up. We'd have a nice dinner and go up to our room and dress up like our favorite storybook characters. And then make love. Nothing unusual.
Perfectly normal. Yikes.
Well, one night, Charlie went in the bathroom to put on... Well, this is a little embarrassing.
Come on, Rose, we're all adults here. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. Come on.
He went in to dress up like the big bad wolf.
Sick. She's sick.
Now, stop it.
I'm sorry, I just don't understand about people who have to dress up like storybook characters. Of course, I was lucky. Without his clothing, my Sal looked like Wee Willie Winky anyway.
Can I finish my story? Well, when he went into the bathroom, I turned out the lights.
Wait a minute, Rose. Why would you bother putting on costumes, then turn out the lights?
Now I do feel silly.
Rose, the affair.
Well, we wanted to order room service, but the St. Olaf Hotel doesn't have it. They just have dumb waiters.
Wait, Rose. Are we talking about a little elevator dumbwaiter or just a guy who was a dumb waiter?
Little elevator. Okay. But the guy who got off it wasn't that bright either. I mean, he saw me in bed and he crawled in. Well, I thought it was Charlie. So I said, Grandma, what big eyes you have. And he said, the better to see you with, my dear. And then I said, Grandma, what big teeth you have. And he said, the better to nibble you with, my dear. And then Charlie came out of the bathroom and he said, who's that sleeping in my bed? I was so confused.
I'll bet.
Well, there I was in my Red Riding Hood outfit, and Charlie's looking for Goldilocks.
Uh-huh.
I guess Charlie was confused, too, because he huffed and he puffed and he actually hyperventilated and passed out.
Don't take me now, Lord. Don't let this be the last story I ever hear.
No, I'm going to be more tolerant.
Oh, Harry.
Please, wait, I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
We're checking out at 207.
Was something wrong?
Yeah, this woman's what's wrong.
Rose, what'd you do?
Nothing.
She completely invaded our privacy.
Oh, come on. It's not like I got in bed with him. Okay, so I got in bed with him.
She started singing hymns.
She started babbling something about hearing cowbells ring. You know, this used to be a nice little discreet hotel. What are you turning it into?
We're doing the best we can.
You shouldn't have her here.
And you shouldn't cheat on your wife.
My wife is none of your business. It so happens this woman and I have a very special, meaningful relationship. I won't have you cheapen it. Let's go.
Arlene.
Right, Arlene.
How could you?
I'm sorry.
Rose, we're barely making ends meet. We cannot afford to offend any
I
guests.
said I'm sorry.
You did the right thing, Rose.
I did? I did the right thing. I did?
Yeah. Sometimes what you believe is more important than business. Although what some people believe is unbelievable.
Now, Roland, I am not some kind of bigot because I love this flag and I resent that implication. You just stop that right now.
Oh, yes, ma'am, Miss Devereaux. Old Roland don't want to cause you no trouble at all.
You hold on to that one. He's a good one.
What did you say?
He's a good one.
Roland, wait.
Across the desk stands Roland Wilson, poised, intelligent, and painfully aware of history's scars. As a black man in 1992, the Confederate flag is not a benign decoration, but a living reminder of hate. Early in the episode, Roland hesitates to judge the hotel's guests, saying, "It's not up to us to make moral judgments about the people staying in this hotel." But the moment he sees the flag, his mood darkens. He quietly explains to Blanche that to him, the flag embodies decades of pain. The legacy of that flag is alive every time I walk down the street with a group of my friends and I see a white person cross over to the other side because they're afraid. I've battled that flag all my life. These lines come directly from the episode and they cut to Roland's heart. He is not scolding Blanche out of anger, but sharing his lived experience. Every day he feels the legacy of that flag as people still act prejudiced around him. His words are spoken gently but firmly, reflecting decades of hurt. In the documentary-like tone, we sense Roland's quiet dignity. Decades of microaggressions and exclusions boiled down to the simple image on a hotel desk. Fans watching have noted the power of this confrontation. One said the episode moved them to tears, describing how Roland sees the Confederate flag as a reminder of burning crosses and racism, while Blanche sees it as a piece of childhood. It's a collision of worldviews. Roland's stance drives home that some groups now claim the flag represents Southern heritage, but it is commonly used by white supremacists. The scene is crafted with quiet intensity. Roland works hard to keep his composure, even as Blanche's instinct is to defend the familiar. But when he spots a placard that reads, "Daughters of the Traditional South," his restraint slips. Daughters of the Traditional South? Those bigots in bonnets aren't staying in this hotel, he mutters, unable to mask his disgust. Blanche, startled, fires back, insisting there's nothing wrong with the group. Roland's response is a sharp, weary joke. Right, so when they pull the sheets over their heads, it's just a tribute to Casper the Friendly Ghost. Then Roland makes a quiet, irrevocable choice. He cannot work under a symbol that denies his dignity. He tells Blanche he's resigning until she can grasp why that flag wounds him. In the moment that lingers longest, he offers a gentle truth. "You and I want the same thing, Blanche. Comfort. But yours comes at my expense." It is the episode's turning point. Roland will not swallow the pain for the sake of peace. What makes the writing resonate is its restraint. Roland's hurt is never a spectacle. It's treated with the dignity it deserves. Viewers have praised the episode for its maturity, calling it more honest about race than many shows produced decades later. In the early 1990s, especially for a Golden Girls spinoff, tackling these themes was daring. More than 30 years on, Camptown Races still feels bracingly relevant, a reminder that true comfort can't be built on someone else's silence. What follows is Blanche's quiet reckoning. With the flag taken down and Roland's words still echoing, she begins to confront the weight of her nostalgia. The episode offers a carefully chosen memory to anchor her reflection. Blanche recalls giving birth to her first daughter in a hospital room she shared with a black mother. Her husband George had been furious about the arrangement, though Blanche herself hadn't objected. It's a small story, but it says everything. The writers use it to suggest that Blanche's comfort and the traditions she holds dear were shaped by assumptions that harmed others. In a vulnerable moment with Roland, she begins to piece it together. What am I supposed to think about all my family and my friends? When I was in school, maybe I was a little less sensitive than I could have been. I was just doing what all my friends were doing. It's not an excuse, it's an awakening. Blanche is beginning to see that she never really questioned the world she grew up in. Her tone isn't defiant anymore. It's reflective, gently remorseful. By the end of the episode, she offers Roland a sincere apology. She agrees to take the flag down, not out of pressure, but out of understanding. She realizes he was right about it, and that her memories are not as happy as she thought. In a quiet, symbolic gesture, Blanche erases the flag from the hotel's registration ledger. Roland forgives her, and their friendship endures. True to sitcom form, the conflict is resolved before the credits roll, but the emotional residue of that conversation lingers. It's not just about a flag, it's about what we choose to remember, and what we're finally willing to see. Even though the conflict is tidied up before the credits roll, the episode lingers. Blanche's journey from reflexive pride to honest reckoning offers a quiet lesson in empathy. The writing stays earnest without ever turning preachy. As one blogger noted, sometimes it's not about what makes us comfortable, but about considering the people around us. That candor feels all the more striking in context. In the landscape of early 90s television, few sitcoms dared to confront the Confederate flag directly. The Golden Palace, a brief spin-off with modest ratings, did. In doing so, it got real about racism, in a way the original Golden Girls had only brushed against. Where an earlier episode, Mixed Blessings, fumbled its treatment of an interracial relationship, Camptown Races meets the topic head-on and with far more maturity. Fans still single it out, saying it handles race better than many shows do even today. The centerpiece, of course, is Blanche's growth. She'd always been vivacious and unapologetic, a beacon of Southern charm who proudly clung to the iconography of her past. This episode forces her to see the harm beneath that nostalgia. Even writers who adore the character acknowledge that her Confederate pride could have kept her fighting to preserve those creaky monuments. By facing Roland's pain without flinching, Blanche discovers that loyalty to tradition means little if it costs someone else their dignity. That realization, one good-hearted person waking up to history's weight, gives the episode its staying power. It reminds us that genuine change is possible when we let empathy rewrite the stories we've always told ourselves. Watching the episode today, its relevance feels almost eerie. What unfolded in a fictional Miami hotel lobby in the early 90s now echoes across decades of real-world reckoning. The questions raised about symbols, memory, and empathy are still with us, louder than ever. In 2020 and 2021, America took long overdue steps to confront its Confederate past. Mississippi removed the Confederate battle emblem from its state flag. NASCAR banned the Confederate flag at races. Statues of Confederate leaders were pulled down across cities. These changes mirror Blanche's awakening. That pride in a symbol is not justification for the pain it causes. The message of this episode still stands today as part of a wider shift in acknowledging a history too long romanticized.
Hey, Roland, I don't feel like that woman in there. I don't feel that way at all.
But can't you see, Blanche, that flag ties what you believe and what she believes together. Look, I'm telling you, the legacy of that flag is alive every time I walk down the street with a group of my friends and I see a white person cross over to the other side because they're afraid. Or look, when I'm in the elevator with somebody like you and you're all huddled over in the corner wondering what I'm gonna do, sometimes I just want to go, oh. Just to break the tension. So please don't tell me about that flag. I've battled that flag all my life.
Look, Roland, I'm sorry. I am sorry for everything you have been through, but what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to think about all my family, all my friends? All right, when I was in school, maybe I was a little less sensitive than I could have been. But I was just doing what all my friends were doing. They were my friends, and we were just acting like everybody we knew acted. Oh. And then when I had my first baby, well, the hospital was packed, and I had to share a room with a young black woman. George made a big stink about the accommodation. She had to have heard him. And I know her baby was every bit as cute as mine. Cuter, in fact. Rebecca was an ugly baby. Turned out fine. Ugly baby. You can get an idea of how she looked if you catch Sophia some morning with her teeth out. The point is, what am I supposed to do and think about my family now? What am I supposed to think about all those people I love? What am I supposed to think about me? Everything I grew up believing in, all my wonderful memories, they're all tarnished now by... Oh, God. by the truth. I owe you an apology.
No, you don't owe me nothing.
Will you stay?
Blanche, you really have to start listening to me when I tell you something is bothering me. And I'll try to understand why some of these things mean so much to you. Look, the whole world is messed up right now, and I would like to see that get better, but in order for that to happen, white people are gonna have to start making positive assumptions when they see people of color. And people of color could make positive assumptions when they see white people. Man, things are just messed up. Blanche, let's just try and get rid of all the barriers and just trust each other, okay? Right on.
Camptown races aren't nearly as much fun as they used to be is an unexpected treasure of early 90s TV, a quiet proof that honest conversation can pierce even the most comfortable nostalgia. Through Blanche and Roland's journey from friction to respect, the episode suggests something radical yet simple. People can change when they truly listen. There's a hushed, almost documentary wonder to the way their story unfolds. Patient, observant, free of shouting. The emotional weight never tips into anger. Instead, it invites us to sit with the past, to notice what we've overlooked, and to feel the cost of cherished symbols. By the time the lobby is still and the tea towels are neatly folded, the episode has left a lasting imprint. Its gentle insistence is clear. Question the icons you grew up with. Make room for someone else's pain, and remember that pride untethered from empathy can wound. In this faceless documentary, the faces of Blanche and Roland leave us with a simple, enduring lesson. Compassion is the surest path to understanding, as urgent today as it was then.